Before we get into today's episode, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to the Open Doors, Open Mind YouTube channel. Don't forget to follow us on Spotify and on our other social media platforms, Instagram, Facebook and now TikTok. Links to all will be in the description below. But without further ado, let's watch the episode.
Hello and welcome to episode 50.
We've finally made it.
No, we made it halfway.
Halfway?
Yeah.
Halfway to what?
I said at 100.
Oh, okay. That's when we're having a serious party, when we get to 100.
Yeah, serious party 100.
What we're going to do, either have a party when we get to 1,000 subscribers on the YouTube channel, or a party when we get to 100 episodes.
I think when we get to 100, we won't care about the 1,000 because we're way past that.
That's a positive way of looking at it. And it's Mental Health Awareness Week.
That's not easy to say.
No, I nearly...
My friend says Adam I have a big tongue, so there's some sentences I definitely can't say because I've got like I don't want to say anyone else's name, but I have a big tongue.
A big tongue?
Yeah. So when is Awareness Week? Yeah.
So I'm going to ask you the question this morning.
Oh, okay.
So, on a scale from 0 to 10, 0 being really bad, your mental health, and 10 being the most positive, where are you today?
You can play along at home if you want to. 8?
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know. Just obviously having before you went on air and bits and pieces, I was like, I was expecting it to be a different way. Or obviously you got a lot on your mind today.
No, not bad stuff.
No, but obviously you got a lot on in the sense of.
Yeah, I've got organisation and stuff, but it's causing me not to be bored, which says when I'm bored is when there's problems.
Well, okay.
Yeah. What about you?
Things are starting to take a positive turn with what we're doing with the mental health. The people that are reaching out, the comments that people are putting on like the posts and bits and pieces. Obviously, at some point, I'm going to sit there and obviously do just me by myself to camera and reading them out and thanking everybody for the support. And obviously, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take this into a whole nother
realm.
That's probably the right word, right?
Yeah. There's a lot of stuff going on, isn't there?
There's a lot of stuff going on.
You've been working hard, haven't you? Oh, there you go. Oh. There you go. You're right.
Oh. And yes, so we've got obviously Chelsea now. Chelsea is
not football club.
No.
Actually, Chelsea Heroes. If you haven't watched the Chelsea episode, go and watch it. It was the one before episode 49. It's incredible, and I felt like there's so much more for her to say, which is going to lead into her. Obviously having her own segment under Open Doors, Open Mind, and she's going to do all the stuff of women's mental health, children's mental health. She's obviously has so much more to give to the viewers out there, and obviously we only briefly touched on where she's going to go with that. So obviously Jack, we've got. So put it this way, stay tuned. We're going to obviously do a little podcast with all the presenters that are going to come on. So obviously once a month, we're going to do all the presenters together having a mental health conversation. And throughout the weeks, we're going to have different podcasts going out from different presenters under the Open Doors, Open Mind. Which have been guests on this as well. So it's kind of like we're making sister and cousin channels, aren't we, sort of thing.
Yeah, so it all comes under Open Doors, Open Mind. So obviously Chelsea will have her section. There's going to be lots of different sections. Obviously, and we are still the main ones. Obviously, we don't want everybody else to get big head.
Yeah, they start here, and they can get their voices and do incredible things, but it starts here.
Of course it does.
Yeah, because that's what we started.
We are the number one, or will be at the rate we're going. We are. No. I'm not having that anymore. I want to be the number one in the UK. The next one after that, we're going for number one in Europe. After Europe, we're going for number one in the world.
We're going to have to translate ourselves then.
Yep, I've already worked. I'm on that already.
I spoke to you about that, didn't I?
Was it you that gave me the idea?
Yeah, well, I didn't give you the idea. Mr. Beast gave me the idea because that's what he does.
Mr. Beast.
Do your kids watch them?
Yeah. Constantly. I was watching one a little while ago about when someone broke into his house.
Oh, I haven't watched
Did you
that.
see it? So there's a clip. I'd never seen it. It's an old one. But someone broke into his house and nicked his laptop, and it had all of his, when he's very first starting, he had his £2 million crypto on there. On the stick, but on his laptop was the actual digit. He didn't need to take his they left the laptop with the digit, the actual number he needed. They robbed his house, took the sticks, useless.
Yeah.
But obviously didn't get the password, which was
This is good.
It literally was there, and he was
Makes
laughing
things,
about it.
you get things backed up. So yeah, it's just us today, no guest.
No
Which
guess.
I thought was quite nice because that can mark we can't have too many guests because then they keep on running and doing their own blooming podcasts. You know what I mean? Like,
Well, it's one of the reasons I've kind of moved all the guests back, because obviously this is going to go into a new direction. I say new direction, a better direction. There's going to be lots more of us.
it's a family.
We've created the Open Doors Open Mind family. I've got T-shirts come in that
I've never had one, by the way. Just going to say, never had a hoodie, never had a T-shirt.
What colour, boys and girls, should we get him?
Not red. Not red.
I thought you would have said red for Arsenal.
No, my work colour is red, so it has to be different to that.
Oh,
okay.
okay. Anyway, so we got T-shirts, we got cups we're giving away. There's going to be all sorts of...
We're going to have a shop, and we're going to have like people can buy.
Well, we're going to have,
We can do a
obviously,
charity
going
donation.
through... Yeah, so basically the T-shirts, you buy T-shirts or hoodies, any of the merch that's going to go out, and the percentage of it comes back to us to keep for the charity side that we're trying to set up, the Open Doors Open Mind charity. So, yeah, it's all going in the right direction, and, yeah, watch this space kind of thing.
I got some things to say.
Go on, then. You've
Okay,
always
let's-
got something to say.
Yeah, that's cool. I don't know what I'm going to start with, actually, because there's a couple of things. This week, I was doing an event at work that I wasn't worried about, but I was a big part of, and I was the person who opened the whole thing. And so there's just anticipation, and there's a little bit like, oh, am I good enough? And self-doubt and all that sort of stuff like that. And
Really? You self-doubt?
yeah, of course. I think that with the more that people expect from you, the more pressure that they could be on you, and the more that they might trust you, the more pressure there is on those sort of things for you to try and
Get it right?
not just get it right, to literally go beyond. You can't just get it right. It has to be better than right. It has to be great. You know, it has to be great, and I think that's a really hard thing to put on your shoulders. But how are diamonds made?
Through a lot of pressure.
Yes. So
Oh, why do you line these things up before you come on?
a little bit.
A little bit, all right.
Why do you think I have my laptop here? And Forrest Whitaker, who's an Oscar winner, and he did Last King of Scotland. He's in a film called Arrival, which I told him was one of my favourite films. He's not a main part in, but it's a good film. He's in Black Panther and stuff like that. So he's in big films. And he did the speech. And one thing he said that I thought was just really, really nice and just very simple. Just 2 lines. He said, "Whatever you plant in the ground grows." And I love that because it's true. That's the same with your children. It's the same with your partner, your parents. It's the same with the stuff that you put in your garden. When we just let our house plants die, they die because we did not attend to what they
Nurture
needed.
'em.
We didn't even look. We made excuses to not do it. Oh, I don't know what it needs. But you never looked once to see what that plant needed. And that plant is the same as that person. You know what I mean? That person is the same as that company.
Mhm.
And I think that if you plant the right stuff in the right setting and do the research and do the work, which is boring, it will grow.
Do you
much
think
further
also
than you.
with that then, do you not think surrounding yourself with the right people?
No, I don't want the right people around me. I need antagonists. I need people that push me. I don't need everyone going, yeah, great, you're great.
No, not
I
like that.
need
But
some
as in bring the
people.
best out of you from different sides, so like there's somebody that you
No.
can...
No, because I have friends around me and they're honest. And that honesty is sometimes tough and sometimes cruel and sometimes not needed. But if I look back, I'm like, thank goodness. Thank goodness that you're there for guidance. People come to me and ask advice. And they come to other friends and family members that I know and stuff like that. And they ask me advice about stuff because they know what I will tell them
Yeah.
probably will make sense. It won't be what they want to hear.
No, some of the stuff that I'm like, oh, shit, that's not what I wanted to
My,
do.
my friend was talking about it the other day with you and stuff and I said, do you reckon that I'm quite tough on Scott? And she said, I don't think you're tough on Scott. I think that what you do is you just always turn around the conversation because I think what we should be doing as humans is always making people think, I don't want you to go, yeah, you're right. I don't want that. That's ridiculous. Actually, Chelsea was very clever last week. What she did is I had an idea and I said something and she didn't believe that when she said she wasn't scared to say that. And then I walk away and I'm like, oh yeah, that's clever. I like that. I don't want to be right. I don't want to be right. I want to learn. Stop being right. Learn. It's so important. And we forget this. I don't know if you know there's a story about a farmer. And it's pretty much the premise is maybe. So when things happen, people are like, oh, whoa, amazing. And you're like, okay. So pretty much a farmer, his horse ran away. Only horse on the farm. Really screws up everything. And the villagers are like, oh my God, what are you going to do? You know, what are you going to do? Like, this is going to be terrible. And the farmer went, maybe. And the next day, the horse came back, but with 7 other horses. And then all the villagers like, oh, amazing. Look what you can do. This is going to be incredible. You know, what you got all these horses, you can do it quicker and you can be better. And he went, maybe. And they're like, what? Anyway, so his son gets up and he tries to break one of the horses because they haven't really been read by humans and stuff like that. And he falls off and he breaks his leg. And they're like, oh, my God, what are you going to do? He's the person who helped you. What are you going to do? This is terrible. He's like, yeah, maybe. And then there's a war coming. Some stuff's going on. And so they need to round up all the men in the village to fight in this war. And anyone who's healthy. And they come round. The farmer's too old. They come and take his son. But they can't. Because he broke his leg. And they're like, oh, that's amazing. Like, aren't you so lucky that he doesn't have to go? You won't lose him. And he's like, maybe. And the funny thing about this situation, every low leads to highs. And every high leads to lows. But it's just always going up. And he's not just enjoying the moment. He's just like, yeah, maybe. Who knows? And I kind of like that, the element of just always kind of thinking forward and not just sitting in your, oh, yeah, that is true. What am I going to do? I've got no horses. I won't be able to feed the kids. Maybe. See what happens.
Yeah,
I love that.
That's a very powerful.
It's a very old story.
It's powerful though as well if you think about what there was a negative, a positive, a negative, and a positive, and you still don't know where it's going to end up.
No,
and it's always going to constantly keep revolving.
Well, we said it.
Or evolving.
We said it the other day. We said it last week that trauma makes people who have trauma makes them help other people with trauma. But if the people that have never had trauma can't help you, don't know how.
No. And obviously, that's the perfect example for. So, not yesterday, excuse me, day before, somebody I'm helping disappeared off the radar. And I went round her, couldn't get their attention, went round the back, and they had switched on the cooker. And 5 minutes more would have been game over. So, broke in. Obviously called the ambulance, got the fire brigade, got all the other people out around, because obviously if the house went bang, because he literally switched the cooker on, and it would have been game over. 5 minutes more. And it's all because I was like, I didn't do that check-in. They haven't replied this morning. Go round and check. As simple, but the positive thing from it now is he kind of had to go to the extreme to get the help. And he's in the right place now to get the help that he needed a little while ago because of the waiting list. There wasn't anyway. So as you had just said with that story, yes, maybe the low, and it's now ended up he's on the right, or going to be. He's got the right people to start helping him. And obviously then I had to fix the bloody window because obviously I busted it.
You broke it?
Yeah, I broke it and obviously fixed it. Couldn't leave it open while he was out doing other stuff. And obviously the trauma that I've had as another guy that I'm helping hit a very, very big low, and obviously took him to Bradley's, had a coffee, had a chat, and messaged me. He said, look, the words was, I've got this. I now know there is a light at the end of the tunnel because you've been through it and you've learned through the hard way of what not to do and where to go. So now obviously I've showed him how to get housing, how his children can live with him, and everything that he needed. It's not all complete, but I'm going with him to the council. No, this is what you need to say. This is what you got to do. Blah blah blah. He said, I just panicked. He said, the anxiety just got so much that, but with you with me, you just kind of took over and said, yeah, he needs this, he needs that, blah, blah, blah. He said, because if you don't ask, you don't get.
No. And it's a bit like with this podcast that people are, reaching out and asking stuff. But the reason why they're doing that is because we put in the effort.
Yes.
We have persevered through good times, tougher times, scheduling, and we still got to this number. And it's a very high proportion of people starting podcasts don't get past episode 5.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's
So
really
we've
tough.
achieved a milestone then, really, episode 50.
Yeah. And I haven't been on every single one, but you've been on every single one. It hasn't happened if you're not here. This is why this is your show. This is why, I'm your guest presenter, because at the same time, this is your baby. And yes, we work together well on it, but at the same time, this is a great brand. That's why we can bring Jack in. That's why we can bring, Chelsea in. That's why we can bring all these people. That's why Pete's still here and helping out, right? We've had other people, and Kai and Callan and stuff. We've had loads of people in this family, and they've gone off and they did their own things. But I guarantee, as always, people always gravitate towards back because they're like, hey, what's going on here? Because what if we just carry on? And then something happens, or it starts picking up pace and does well, and it only takes one clip.
One. I'm just waiting for that one.
Yeah, we don't deserve it yet.
I truly believe that with you. Not that we agree very often. I agree with that. I don't think we've done enough to prove our worth. Obviously, we are helping people. We are doing, certain therapists have reached out in messages and said some of the stuff that you have come up with and the guests that they're putting into practice with their own stuff. So obviously it is helping people, but I don't think we've done I deserve it yet.
No, the tiny step. Also, you won't be able to control it. It's too hard. It has to happen so slowly so you can control it.
Mm.
You can't just jump on a horse and let it gallop. You have to learn how to just walk. Just get on it first. Yeah. And we're just like very slowly. We can't let it go because we'll lose control because we don't have the technique to deal with it if it does explode. It's really hard. You need loads of things around you to make sure it works. Right now, it's quite easy. Right now, we're allowed to, in this room, there is no one in this room apart from me and you.
No.
We fast forward. Say we carry on doing this. We fast forward 3 years and we're still doing it. We're in episode 300, 400, whatever. That will never happen again.
No, because you're going to have everybody in it with us.
Everyone.
Producers, you're going to have the whole shebang.
Everyone.
It's not it's just when. Just stay tuned. It will happen.
I'd rather it just be 2. It's fine. It makes
We're going to do a clip from this one, episode 50, episode 1500.
Wow. That's a lot.
Easy.
That's going to take...
Easy.
That's 10 years.
Nah. Yeah, I suppose.
Yeah,
if it's
10
taken
years.
as, yeah.
How long have we been doing it? Because obviously, if you think about it, I don't know. Have we done it every single week? It's been longer than a year.
Yeah, true. Because you're a busy man.
I am a busy man. Sorry.
You are very busy.
But do I make the time?
You did. Thank you very much for today, because I thought I was going to be sat here by myself.
No, we're not going to. You literally would have been here by yourself.
Oh, no, I was going to do a piece to the camera, thanking everybody and reading out the statements and mental health awareness.
You can do that.
I could do it.
What was your number? We didn't actually ask you either, because normally we're not very good at just coming up with stuff and then asking back. So on the scale of 0 to 10, 0 being the worst and 10 being amazing, considering you had saved someone's life, how are you feeling today, this moment, this week? What is it? Where, if you round it all up or down, where is it?
So it's a real odd one, because obviously so anxiety-wise, with everything that's starting to move...
Is it anxiety or are you worried? Which one is it?
I can't work it out in a minute, because I feel like...
Because I do worry about extreme talk, and so I don't know how to pin you when people always say that their anxiety is up, because sometimes I was like, oh, do you ever get worried then? Because I want to know what that is too, so we can call that what it is instead of always having
and
to
that's
be
the
most
bit, that's
extreme
why
version.
I would say, so future-wise, as a my normal day-to-day mental health, I would probably say is about a 6 or 7. But with what's going on around me and things that are changing and it's picking up pace,
Yeah.
my anxiety is I'm scared that
No, it's anticipation. It's good. That's not anxiety.
No. Genuinely, I'm scared that I'm gonna have a bad day and it's all gonna fall apart.
But you haven't yet.
No.
And you're also, I'm going to tell you, you're not fucking allowed to now. I'm telling you.
Yeah. That's what I mean. I'm excited. So many people to support the.
Because I'm not going to let you. You can be down. That's fine.
I'm just worried that I do something wrong and undo everything we've just done.
Mate, okay, so project forward. Do that thing wrong, right? In your mind, project forward, do that thing wrong, and then work out the web of how you untangle it, or you don't get there. Don't just think, I'm really scared of what? I don't know, maybe do it. No. Go, right, I've already looked in the future. I already made a mistake. Let's track it back.
I'm really excited about where this could go and what can be done. And the family is growing. The Open Doors, Open Mind family is growing. Mm-hmm. And we've got some serious people involved now in the sense of like Chelsea, Jack, all them people. And I'm quite looking forward to seeing where they go with their sections and bits and pieces and where we end up. Because obviously once a month I want all the hosts together and we're going to do what we're doing.
We'll just do an open table.
An open table, yeah. And it's, I'm just, I don't know. There's opposite, I don't know what the word is. I'm excited, but I'm also like, careful because I don't want to mess it up.
It's just imagine that you do.
Yeah.
And then work out either how not to or what you will do if you do mess up.
That's when I said to you, when I said at the beginning of this, like having the right people around me, like you just said, I'm not going to allow you to. It's having somebody that go like, shut up, Scott, you're being a dick.
I'm weirdly,
do you know what I mean?
I'm weirdly tough love.
Yeah.
But I feel like sometimes you might.
I need that sometimes, like when we had that conversation when my PTSD spun out of control and I rung you.
What did I say? Did I lean into it or did I say, look,
a bit of both.
Pick
you did a
yourself up.
You started with it nice and then enough. You've had your cuddle kind of thing.
Yeah.
Get on with it.
Yeah, I can only cuddle you for so long.
You understand what I'm saying? It was all
weird otherwise. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean,
the bit I like.
But that's good. I mean, but you should be. I think they say do something that scares you every day.
Oh, I'm scared. I'm not scared as in like I'm going to die off of a shark, tiger, but I'm scared because it's exciting.
It's so extreme. Why would there be a tiger? There might be dolphins.
Shark. No, but
if you don't get that reference, we'll go and watch back some clips. Yeah, I've got another thing. So I love scrolling the internet, and I was looking through stuff, and I couldn't find anything. And then I was just like sorting out stuff. I was a little bit like rushed today. I was trying to get things done. I actually went for a 2-hour walk down the canal.
I see you. I
know you waved.
Is that where you were going?
Yeah, I just went to the canal, and then I got to a part, and I just sat down. I didn't want to go any further because all the lovely geese and stuff had like little goslings and stuff, and Lois likes to pick them up. So so we didn't go any further. But I just sat, and it was just a sunny day, and I was like, oh, this is nice. I like this. And I got home, and I was like, I need to do this, and I was trying to do something really quickly, and I just came up with something. So, what is the most expensive thing that you own? I don't want to hear it. I don't want to know what it is. I just want you to think about it. What's the most expensive thing that you own? You can do this at home. So what's the most expensive thing you own? And just think about it right now. Okay? You might be like, oh, I don't really have anything expensive. Just the most. It could be your phone. It could be, if you're lucky enough to buy a house or you have a car or whatever. What is the most expensive thing you have? You got it?
Yep.
Perfect. Now answer the question in your head. How did you get it?
Hard work.
Did you get it in a day? Did you get it in a week? Did you get it in a month?
No.
In a year? Like, this is a situation, right, that the most expensive thing that we probably own in life took so long to get. Right? You had to get this point. And I'm even counting you being a baby. You have to grow up. You need to have like if you don't do education, you need to figure out what you're going to do. You need to earn some money, right? And then you need to put yourself in position that you can put money together with someone else, or you earn enough money to do it by yourself and buy that car or buy that house or buy that phone that could change, or buy that camera that goes and changes your life that you're doing stuff. Buy that computer that you can start editing. Like, none of this stuff is done quickly, and nor should it. And this is exactly the same thing as this podcast. You can't get to 50 episodes easy. You can't do it easy. You can be like, I can do it in 50 days. Good luck. Good luck. You watch your burnout go. You just want to be there.
No.
So everything comes to those that wait, you can't just read a book really fast. You can't just learn how to ride a bike really fast. It just takes time. But as soon as you get past it and get to that point, when you bought those trainers, you're like, do you know what? I really like trainers, and they're a little bit out of my league to get. But what if I go and do that extra thing? What if I go and cut the grass over there? What if I go and do... And you get like a tenner here, tenner there, tenner there. Oh, I'm going to get there. And actually, when it comes to the point when you go to buy those things, you're like, I don't even want to spend my money on that. You know?
I'm fine. Yeah. Even with the most expensive thing I had, I'd always had second hands or...
I love second
bits of
hands.
it was great, but they weren't... It was basically my van. My van I bought from... It was a first... It's literally, I'm, 40? And it's the first ever vehicle that I've had from brand spanking new. Nobody else had owned it before me. It had all the extra bits that I wanted on it, and it was exactly what I wanted it to be.
But you had to, how to get to that point?
I had to put a lot of hard work in other businesses, saving money, also learning what was a good deal and what was a bad deal, in a sense, to get to that.
But you already made those bad deals. Like, damn it, do you know how many times I've done stuff wrong completely, or lost something, and it's just gone wrong, or I bought something and it never turned up, or I had something and it was stolen and stuff, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm back. And I was like, no, I'm not back to square one. I just learned how to not do that again.
Pretty much. I remember buying a car and had it less than 3 minutes, drove it down, and the piston, the pistons go straight through it. Yeah, I did that. Literally drove it round the corner from after buying it, and yeah.
Those things happen, and I don't believe in everything happens for a reason. And people say that, and it's fine. I think it's just a throwaway comment, and I think it makes people feel better. And if that is the case, then please use it. Please use it. I've even put it in songs, right? Please use that phrase. But things just happen. Mm-hmm. There's no rhyme or reason. It just happens. You can connect as many dots as you want, and to make yourself feel better, great. But things just happen, and they happen with you or without you.
Yeah, it's like the world moves on whether you're there or not, right?
Oh, he doesn't care.
Yeah,
it doesn't care.
And that's the one thing I've kind of explained to my kids. Tomorrow is going to happen whether you like it or not.
Yeah, and if you put your head in the sand, which a lot of people do, including myself,
yeah,
if you don't, you will cause your own fall and breakdown if you don't put the right kind of arrows pointing the way that you need to go. So say right now, and good luck to everyone who is doing it right now, doing their GCSEs and stuff and doing whatever exams, you know if you haven't put the work in.
And that's what I've said to my son. So obviously he's just doing his
It falls
mocks.
down on you. You know if you haven't put the work in. And if you haven't put the work in, that only makes you feel worse.
Yeah, because like I asked him, I've turned around and said to him, so the results that you got, are you happy with it? He was like, I said, can you say, whether you got 100 out of 100, can you say you put 100% effort into that?
No. I hope you know the answer to that.
And he went,
I don't know your kids.
No.
But it's quite hard though. I don't think I put 100% in anything. I put like a high, yeah, because I didn't believe in 100%. But like I put like a really good percent. An A is 70%, by the way. I'm just telling you.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, exactly.
So what's the C then?
Not good enough.
But I got X for excellent in my GCSEs.
Yeah, that does not exactly.
I've got an X.
That means you didn't even spell your name right, I think.
I think it's exempt or something stupid like that. But I told my nan it was X for excellent.
Fair,
and which I got 50 quid for that
which is hilarious because excellent starts with an E.
Oh, so she must have known then the whole time, right?
Maybe not. Maybe not.
Oh.
Who knows?
Anyway, she believed in me.
Yeah, so yeah, anyone who's doing those things, but if you've put the right parameters in to succeed, and you're like, hey, I've done everything I can do that my brain will allow me to do, and 15% maybe more than I have to do to not feel terrible.
So do you have low days like that then?
Yeah.
Because obviously you're always doing something busy. Does it not get too much for you sometimes?
Yeah. But
what do you do then to balance that out? Because literally at one point this morning you weren't here because you were flat out doing, you know what I mean?
I would say, my friends are sort of not roll their eyes because they do understand. When I'm busy, I'm busy. Yeah. And when I'm not busy, I'm probably doing other stuff, but like, oh, your life's quite easy. I was just like, no. Like, I have to do like change in the bed, mop the floor. I don't have a cleaner. Like the only thing I have in house that anyone comes is my window cleaner. And I've been so busy, they haven't been able to come to my house for 4 months. Can't see through the windows. So if you want to come clean my windows, that'd be great. I really need to, but I'm never in when I need to be there. And so for me, I'm very lucky that, like, I will phone people and they'll see that if they either answer it or there's a missed call, because it could be at work. Same with me, right? But I'll see there's a missed call and I'll be like, cool, I'll call you back. Maybe not this afternoon, maybe not this evening, maybe tomorrow.
Yeah, I know that.
But I'll give you a call, right? Because now, so we also have this protocol. If it's 2 calls, then I'll call you back. If I see 2 missed calls on my phone, don't abuse that. But I will be like, okay, one.
There's something.
Yeah, what's going on? You right? What's going on? 1 call is like, hey, how you doing? 2 calls is like, please help me. You know, and my friend, she's going through everyone is going through stuff. Everyone. There's not one person that isn't. And so I have a friend called Nasi. I have a friend called Adam. Adam, I think I speak to every day. Every day I speak to. That's what's so weird. Like 5, 10, 15, half an hour. He's got a 1-year-old kid, right? And he's been having a bit of a tough time, which I've never seen. I've never seen it before. And so we kind of, and his wife's quite good because she'll just be like, phone down. Like she might,
really?
Yeah, she knows sometimes she's just like, I don't know if I can give you the right advice in this. Just give Dan a call. And he's just like, I don't know if I want advice. He went, well, tell Dan that. And he'll phone me like, I don't need advice, just finish it. I'm like, okay, cool. And then we talk about like, can you believe how much like a Big Mac costs now? You know what I mean? Like just random stuff and
just
like
putting the world to rights.
Yeah, just stupid stuff because I'm his distraction, and he is very much mine.
That's good. That's what I mean. Do you not think that's what you mean by surrounding with the right people? That you've got.
No, but also I know I need some other people in my life that unsteady me a little bit because it allows me to catch my balance. If I'm too comfortable on 2 legs, sometimes I need to stand on 1 and be a little bit vulnerable because sometimes people don't, like I think you probably say the same, you don't really see it. You're like, oh, Dan seems fine. Dan seems good, which by the way, fine means fucked up, insecure, and neurotic.
Yeah, I'll work that out. Women are like, yeah, everything all right? Yeah, I'm fine. Yeah, that means everything but fine.
And good is a throwaway of nothing. So like, yeah, how's life? Yeah, it's good. Not bad is like the worst thing a person can say. Because I always ask the question, and I was like, by the way, I was like, oh, how's everything? Yeah, no, it's good. Is that like a stock answer or is that real? Like, what are you telling me?
It's just a normal throwaway thing.
Like, do you want me? Is there anything else you want it? And I literally said it to someone else. It's like, oh yeah, my mom's not well. I was like, oh, okay, cool. Well, just say that then. Because then I can now like, oh yeah, I'm okay. Mum's not well. I was like, oh crap, what's going on? You know what I mean? Do you want to talk about it, or we can not? I'll make you a crisp sandwich or something. You know what I mean? Just distract you, because in the end, that's all these people are. You are, Adam is, Natalie is, Bernie is. You know what I mean? Like that. My auntie is. They're just my friend Richie is. My godkids and stuff. They're all distractions. It's that moment of just someone I said the other day, text someone, say, hey, you all right? And that's as easy as it is. Mm-hmm. And I think you don't have to do it all the time. The problem is, actually, I've always had this problem. In life, in my job and stuff like that, I get clapped too much. I get too much adulation. I get too many hugs. I get too many like, oh my God, your job. Oh my God, this. Oh my God, this.
It does seem exciting, and it's only when we talked I realise how hard.
I get used to it. And
yeah.
And then there's a weirdness with that. There's no one clapped.
Do you know I am?
And like people will be like, do people notice you? I was like, I've always said about the people noticing you. I was like, oh yeah. I think it was Jedward who told me this. They might know who you are, doesn't mean they like you.
Correct. Yeah, I can relate to that. I can definitely relate to that one.
But I tell you, it was quite nice. I did an interview on the radio, and they wanted to talk about this podcast.
Really?
Yeah. and I did an interview and I did a podcast, and someone else brought up this podcast. And it's so funny because it's starting to be part of not a wide net. There's not loads of
It's
people.
more than where it was a couple of months
Yeah,
ago.
of course, and it should be, because those are the things. They see little bits on our channels. They see a little bit of some of the snippets that we have and stuff like that. They see that something's going on, and they just scrolling for the phone, and they look at it and they're like, I don't really care about that. I don't really care about that. And all of a sudden they're like, oh, wait a minute.
You're still there.
They're still doing this? And you want to hear that a lot. You'll be like, you're still doing that? You're like, yeah. And people are like, does it make you money? I was like,
I've had that a lot in the last 2-3 days.
I was like, not yet.
I was like, what, are we going to make money? Whoa, I didn't start this to make money.
I mean, you can later on, but normally in these things, you'll make money because
In the politest way, just so obviously I want to put this, you've never been paid to do this.
no.
Right. So that's what my point. So everyone goes out. Literally, I had it yesterday. I won't mention it. But how do you get paid, Scott? What?
Well,
That's not what I did this
ways.
for to start with.
Let's not talk about money. Yeah.
No, but what I'm
Yeah,
trying to
no,
say is
no,
in
no.
a sense of it's not for that.
No.
Do you understand? I mean, I just think the world's a bit greedy sometimes. That's where I go with. But that's just a personal opinion from experience for over the years.
I don't like exploiting people, and if you need this, I'd rather it just be free. Like Twitter was, but is free. Instagram's free. Facebook's free.
So
WhatsApp's
obviously, I know.
free.
Sorry, we went off a bit of tangent. So what radio station was you on today, or radio show?
Oh, now you're asking me, aren't you? It was a Liverpool radio station.
Hank, what?
Yeah, it's in Liverpool.
So they were talking about us
Yeah,
in Liverpool.
yeah.
We're getting there.
We're getting there.
We're getting there.
We're getting there. That net is nice and fun. My nephew just messaged me, actually. He just, I messaged him and said, good luck for your exams. I said, what's your schedule looking like? He said, I had English, which didn't do well in. But I knew this. I know that's not where his brain is, right? His brain's not going there. So he'll get like a 4 or 5, whatever. He'll be a low mark. But I said, how did the other ones go? He went, yeah, they went better. I was like, cool. Well, what's your mark prediction? He was like, 9. I don't know if you know that 9 is the highest.
It's 9 and A then, basically. Or
No, an
above
A star star.
A star, star, star.
A star star star.
So basically, smash it out of the park and some.
Yeah. I mean, if he does
So
get,
what is that a percentage then? So that's above 70,
I think it's about
right?
yeah. So A is 70%, yeah, but A star's probably like maybe 80, 85, 83.
So that's, wow. And
That's-
what was that in?
That would have been in science. That would have been in biology, chemistry, and physics sort of stuff. Yeah. That's where he lies. That's where he wants to be a pilot. That's where his brain is. He's kind of good at like facts and figures. When it comes to figuring out what the poet means, nah.
Yeah. But I find I think, obviously, I'm going to get back to the radio station because obviously that's a massive achievement. But I find like stuff I learn is because I'm interested in it.
Mhm.
If you're interested in it, it's like, this is hard work.
Oh, of course.
Where you could do another subject and love it to pieces and put in more effort.
Yeah, and also the things that you just find easier, the things you gravitate when you're an adult. So this whole thing of like be better and and giving you a hard time because you're not good at a certain subject, I just find ridiculous. Like if you get like a high enough mark in 3 subjects, well, you're going to university. Well, you're going to do A levels anyway, but like you're fine. Just don't worry. Like I know in a sense this whole thing that is overly hard, worried about, and I think in a sense it just shows that you have determinations to concentrate and put your mind to things.
If you want it bad enough, you'll do it.
I guess
So anyway, radio show. Come on, tell me more. Because I was excited now.
yeah, they just wanted to know. They wanted to know what's going on, and they wanted to talk about the show, and they wanted to talk about what direction. I said like we're hitting 50 episodes today, and and it wasn't overnight. It took a while, and I think that's a good thing, and they liked what we were doing, and I also talk about like, because I think that you may sit in your mental health space, like I'm gonna say 30 seconds too long. You're like a cake. You could have been a perfect cake, but you're like, no, I'm not ready yet. I was like, no, you need to come out. No, not ready yet. I was like, no, you're in the oven still, like literally, no. And then I'm like, and then I'd say, and he'd be like, yeah, I should have come out before. I was like, yeah, like you should have like not been stuck in this bloody oven. Just be like, yeah, but it was fine. I felt safe in here. It was fine. I was scared of the outside. It was cold.
Yeah, that's exactly where I'm at now. You're bang on in the sense of everyone's like, you need to come out now, mate.
Yeah.
It's time to move on.
And we don't mean come out. He's not telling us anything. But you know, you need to.
What? I'm not a cake. What are you on about?
But like in the sense that you just maybe. Your fingers have gone pruny because you've just been swimming for too long. Yeah. And I'm like, but you're like, no, but I now like that. And I'm like, no.
I'm in my comfort zone.
You're in your comfort zone is mental health.
This
slightly
is comfort.
tipping. Like I think that you like to sort of dip your toe in a little bit of sadness, and I don't.
I think I attract it sometimes. I really do. I'm like a bit of a.
Does that mean you create it?
I have wondered that recently, especially with certain things. It's like, do I go out looking for these people that? It's like
when you gravitate towards each other, isn't it?
Yeah. But I think I would call that my superpower. That now is obviously we're gravitating to each other for a reason, right? And it's for me to give you the tools that you need or help you in the right place.
For those that are watching, we are in episode 50. We're just talking about some random stuff. Of course, it is Mental Health Awareness Week, and then I was talking about grading as well. So the grading system for GCSEs, because people are doing it, is from U to 9. U is unclassified and graded. If you get a 1, you get a G, 2 F/E, 3/EF, and then more passable grades, which would be 4, 5, and 6, which would be
why have they
C
changed
and
it?
a B. Why not? Then 7, 8 is A, and 9 is A star. I can try and find out some percentages of that, but things change. Maybe it used to be just called GCEs and with an S in there. You know what I mean? So,
O levels, somebody's called. You said it used to be.
Yeah, but now it's A levels, isn't it? It's not the same thing.
I don't know.
Well, maybe.
But why just change it from A? Everybody knew what A, B, C, D, and F and that sort of was, right? And
Yeah,
A
maybe.
star. Even I knew what B plus and B minus were. And that ain't rocket science, right? Why have you now changed it to numbers and a D? But they've even started with a D into a number. Well, apparently the kids all know what they're getting or not getting and understand it.
So marks out of 100. So I think for you to get a 9, is you just have to be over 75%, I think. So you don't the perfection element.
So when I got an A, then that was quite a good thing.
Okay, what did you get in?
History.
Oh, nice. What got you like into history? What was the thing?
I love.
Do you have a good teacher?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's always the way.
Yeah. Do you know what? It's exactly the same thing. The only reason I managed to even get a grade in English was because of certain teachers that kind of realised I don't learn like everybody else and took my dyslexia into play. And
How many teachers were good at your school? Well, actually, at your 2 schools, I'm assuming you just went to 2 schools. You went to primary, you went to senior, 2, yeah.
Primary schools, I went to 4.
Okay, wow. That's unstable.
Yeah, and that was because we moved up and down the country with
Okay.
my dad's work. Secondary school, I was in the same secondary school all the way through. Certain teachers,
Let's not know how many of them were good
3,
out of.
30, 40?
Do you reckon that's good enough?
No. Nope.
Percentages right now. I just found it. Sorry if this is boring. You don't have kids, or this, but maybe stuff you can pass on yourself. 75 to 100 is A star. 70 to 74 is A, and 64 to 69 is A minus, and 60 to 63 is a B plus. So, yet again, you can be 25% off and still have an A star. That's great. Think about that in life. Think about that in life. You can literally be 25% rubbish, and you're like, still amazing though.
Still, man, got it. Smashed it out of the park.
I never got an A star in anything. So
Shut up.
no,
I would imagine you got. I bet you passed drama.
I didn't do drama. I am drama.
Wait, that's gonna definitely have to be a show, right? I am drama.
It's true. I try not to be.
So, what did you study at school then? What was your GCSEs?
The same. I didn't do history. I did geography. Obviously, math, science, English.
I bet you did a second language as well, didn't you?
German. What else am I missing? There's something else as well. Maybe cooking. Um,
Can I guess which ones you did well in?
yeah.
I reckon you did average in PE.
I was really fast.
Yeah, no, just because you were fast doesn't mean you're good in PE.
Right, okay, go.
So I reckon you was standard
Mm-hmm.
in the middle on PE.
Yeah, okay.
Geography, I reckon you did really well at.
All right. The erosion theory of coastlines, amazing.
Yeah, see. Yeah, English you did very well at.
Okay.
Science, I reckon you was again in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
And it all depended on what subject in science you did well at. So there's obviously different bits in science. So some really interested you and some didn't.
Yeah.
What was the others you did? Did you do religious studies and all that sort of stuff?
No.
Which is
it
now
was, a-
something
it was
called
kind of between English, geography, and RE. You could
RE.
choose one of them. So, but we didn't have to do it.
German, I reckon you can talk it, but it wasn't the best.
Okay.
Am I far off?
Yeah.
Oh, go on then. This would be interesting.
School was not for me.
School wasn't for you?
No.
I learned more after. I'm not saying people leave school. I'm just saying I learned a hell of a lot more. School to me was just a social thing for me and my mates.
I didn't move to Reading until I was 14. So I went to 2 secondary schools. And the first one was probably more catered for me. It was more practical. There's more elements of woodwork, electrics, motor vehicle studies.
They don't do that anymore, do they?
No. What's the point of taking apart a car anymore? Like, no one cares anymore about that, do they? Because of ships and all that sort of like my car doesn't even have an engine, for God's sake. You know what I mean? So it's more practical. And then when I went here, there were some things I couldn't do because they didn't have them, or I would have came to it too late. So it wasn't like I struggled. It was just like I was just bang average.
But don't you need certain grades to be a teacher then?
Yeah, that's why I went on and had to work hard and go to college. And then I went to university after that because
if you
education is.
Not saying you didn't enjoy it, you didn't get what you wanted out of it. What made you want to become a teacher then?
I think because trauma can help people with trauma. So if you have someone who is lost, and then they find their way, and then they tell everyone their story of how they found their way, and then they inspire, that's what you want. I don't want anyone who's just academic to coming into my school telling me how great and easy they found working was. That doesn't help me. That doesn't help me. What helps me is just people who've struggled. And I prefer that. So I have more understanding for kids that don't learn normally in the normal
did you
way.
do really well at geography? Was I right with that one?
I did okay. I got C's across the board. Everything passed.
So everything's great. It's all passes, isn't it?
It's less than 50%.
Really?
Yeah, C's less than 50%, between 46 and 49.
Oh.
Yeah.
I got a few C's.
Yeah, it's fine.
And then
I actually got the highest grade was actually in PE. So
shut up. What did you get in PE?
I got a B plus.
A B plus?
Yeah.
What did you study for PE?
The body, which happily helped with actually biology and stuff like that because it was more kind of the physical element about doing stuff, and I wrote like a paper on the long jump and what that causes and the reason why it's actually such a hard, like I looked at pole vault and stuff like that, but the long jump for me, I felt like the element of sprint, then where you have to stop to make sure you don't cross over, because you can do a great jump on a long jump, but the problem is if you hit the board and you're over this line, then it doesn't count. So even if you fly through the air, and then there's techniques, and I looked about what people's techniques were. The high jump is even better, not the pole vault, but the high jump is even better because the techniques changed over the last sort of couple of years. It just the way they do it now, they go over backwards, but the other before that, they used to sort of go over forwards or go sideways and stuff like that. And you look over history of how much it changed and who changed the game and stuff like that. So I just kind of focus on that, and I think if you do something that people go on a teaching go, okay, that's better. Or now you just get like chat GPT to just do it for you.
Yeah.
Which is all good. Any words of wisdom? We haven't done this for a while because we are babbling on, but any words of wisdom that you've got in your
Just
bag?
on this week alone, I don't know how to put this. Do something scary. because I'm excited, but I'm also at the same time.
But then you feel like you've achieved when it works, and then you learn something if it doesn't.
There you go. You took the words out of my mouth, right?
I'm just reading the script that you sent me. It's fine, don't worry. This is a very organised, polished podcast. I don't think my one is. I don't think you ever regret working hard.
Where are you getting these from?
It's just my brain. You know me. I'm all over the blooming place.
That's what I mean. Some of
Do you
these,
like
yeah, I do like that.
I just don't think you regret. I don't think you regret the perseverance. I don't think you regret doing all the tiny steps. I think you just learn, and that's what I want. I just want you to learn. I want you to question. I want you to learn. I don't want you to think you're right. I don't want you to think you're wrong. I want you to just take as much information on board, and then help yourself be the best version that you can with flaws. Who said that they told their kid that, or they show them that they make mistakes? I think it was Bernie. She said sometimes I make mistakes, so the kids be like, "Oh, okay, you make mistakes. So it's okay to make mistakes." Like, yeah, because we just said it. If you want an A star, you could be 25% wrong.
Yeah, that does say that's. I didn't realise that. I thought it was 100%. When you got an A, it was 100%. I just assumed.
I don't believe in 100%.
Why don't you believe in 100%?
Because if you get 100%, I guarantee that you didn't try. You're just natural ability on that. I guarantee there will be kind of some spectrum of autism that you might be doing in yourself for 100% to get, and then guess what? Where is room?
But I got 100% in my spray license. You know when you do the spraying for landscaping?
Where is room for growth?
But I spent ages and ages and ages because I struggled to read and write. I sat with my mum. We went through it. She read it to me. It took months and months and months to prepare for the thing. And the guys that could read, and the bit that got to me was didn't want to look stupid that I couldn't read. So obviously I studied and got my mum to help me. And I smashed out of the park. I got 100% out of 100 questions.
I mean, in the sense that you've done a long journey all the way through, but having 100% leaves you nowhere else to go, or everything you get after that will not be that, will be substandard. It's quite hard to stay at the top at 100%, and that's why I say that 75% is good enough, because you can achieve so much with that, with still room to grow. You can get 76, you can get 77. But if you're at 100%, you can't get 101%. Don't believe in any of that terminology stuff.
Of course you can.
Stuff. No, you can't.
Why?
Because it's only out of 100.
Well, I'm putting 100% in, put 110% in.
Doesn't exist.
Of course it does.
Statistically and stats-wise, that does not exist. That's just a saying. That's just a saying. That's why I'm saying 75%.
Who do you agree with, me or him? Can you put 110% in?
Anyone who says 110% has not. Yeah, is wrong. Because all they're doing is saying, all they're doing is they're saying a saying, and that's fine. I don't mind sayings. But it's the same. It doesn't do anything. You know what I mean?
If you're X Factor, would you not say you gave that 100%?
No freaking way. No.
Shut up.
No way.
Never. Of course you did.
No, I didn't want to give 100%.
So not even when on the live final.
No, even worse then. Way worse.
Really?
Yeah. I don't think there was any performance that was 100%.
Okay, if you did give 100%, would your life been different?
No.
Why?
Because then I think that you're chasing that 100%. I think it becomes a drug. Like I said, because I think that you will be sad because you'll be like, I just can't get there again. I just can't. There's no way I can get there. Your enthusiasm goes. Your ideas go. You've used up your resources. You know, your body fails you. Your voice fails you. You can literally destroy your voice. Most people who are singers have all had like operations on their throat.
Why?
Because they use it too much. Do anything. There's an element about, like they say, don't go to gym every day. Don't go every day. And definitely don't work on the same thing every day. When you're singing, you're only working on one thing. So if you sing every day without a break, without sleep, without water, without eating well, you're messing up. Whatever you plant in the ground will grow. So you have to look after yourself. If you water your plant too much, it will still die. If you don't water it, it still dies. So you need to figure out Where's the middle ground? And 75% is good enough.
No, I disagree with that one. I think you have to try and give, whether you end up with 75% because you've tried 100% to end up in life or whatever the situation.
It's just the same. I understand what you're saying, but it's just the same. It's same as mine's just the same of saying, but percentage-wise, on facts, on statistics, an A-star is 75%. That's what I'm saying. You're saying, like, I'm going to give 110%. Well, where's that start? I'm going to give 1,000%. But where that doesn't make any difference. I can just break it down again, and I can make that 110% back into percentage. But, you know what I mean? So, and we'll just change the number slightly. But in the end, you're just saying the same stuff. You can give as much as you want, but I guarantee you won't give 100%. I just guarantee it. You just won't. And even the people at the top that excel can do it once or twice. They cannot consistently do it.
So these people that are doing like stocks and shares and high-powered jobs and bits and pieces, they had to have given 100% to get there, surely.
They had to give a high percentage. They had to give a very high percentage. And I said they can achieve it once or twice. They cannot sustain it.
So even to be a solicitor, a lawyer, a doctor?
Yeah. You cannot sustain it forever. You cannot sustain it for a long period of time.
Well, in an operation, surely they have to give 100%.
No, I guarantee there's sometimes when my friends are doing surgeries and they would have given 80. They would want to give 100%, but maybe it was the last shift of their day. Maybe there's stuff going at home. Maybe they're ill. You know, it's not just a factor of trying, it's a factor of surroundings and environment.
Fair enough.
Anyway, Steve.
That was getting a bit deep there, wasn't it?
Thank you, episode 50. Well done. You've been here every single one. I think I've done about 47 of them. So if you want to be a guest on this wonderful podcast, you'll probably just get your own show.
That's it. Yeah, you just come by.
I don't want my own show, by the way. I just wanted. I know I do have other stuff, but like I don't want my own show.
He was never getting your own one. Listen to you. Like he was trying to get his own one.
I've already got my own one, so it's fine. If you want to subscribe to Little Help, you can do that. And also, there's some wonderful episodes. The best thing.
No, it's mine and your. As in, this is always going to be us. But we're going to end up with more of a family. I can't wait to put everybody, all of us, in one room to do this.
Yeah.
I think there'll be a serious debate.
I don't want to love him, though.
What?
I don't want to love him. You know me, I'm like a catalyst. I'm like a...
Oh, but the thing is, though, I think the ones that have come through, that have shined...
They've got their own personality. They're strong.
Yeah, and I think that's why this is going to work, because obviously, well, like, if I don't agree, I'll go no.
Yeah, you are, and that's the same. That doesn't mean they're wrong. It doesn't mean they're right. It just means you just...
Would you say you're more right than wrong?
No, I'm more right.
Would you say out of two of us, am I more right than you are?
I think that you're more... I think I'm more realistic, and I think you're more optimistic. In other ways. Not on yourself, but in other people and other ideas and stuff like that. I think you're more optimistic, and I'm more...
Would you say I'm more trustworthy than you? I trust people more than you trust people?
I don't overly care about too many people that I don't need to, that I don't see on a current site. So we have a guest in that, they're lovely, blah, blah, blah. But once that guest or anything's gone, normally it's gone from my brain. Because I kind of has to. I can't keep on adding all the time. I think I can't remember what the statistic is, but there should only be a certain amount of people in your life. How many numbers? I think it was like 100 people. That's all you can actually ever in your whole life can actually really cross paths. After that, you have no idea. You just don't know or care anymore.
Oh, really?
Yeah. We'll talk about it next week.
Perfect. Sorry,
Amazing.
we're going back in there again.
It's fine.
It's when we get left in the room by ourselves. Right?
Yeah, there's no one else going, cut.
Jeez, stop.
If you want to like and subscribe, you should have done it already. But if you haven't and you made it all the way to the end of the podcast, well done to you. That's quite intense, isn't it?
Do you reckon how many people, I'd be well interested to work out how many people are actually watching.
I'm going to say it's not me. Because I know we're just waffling on at the end. If you look, if any of the clips I ever take of anything, none of it's at the end.
Yeah, because we say the best bits at the beginning.
Yeah, of course. No, we don't. We do some really good stuff.
End bit's really perfect. Anyway, guys, thank you very much.
Open doors, open minds. There's
51.
Watch
this space. Thank you very much.
See you later.
Did you say it right?
Yeah, I did. Open doors, open minds.
He still looks.
I've got to look like that.
Bye, guys.
Bye.